imagine like working for a whole month, investing so much. Like I'm the kind of person that saves money and don't like to spend on things that are unnecessary. And here I am, like trying to make a house look really nicely. Do I really need to spend money on these things? But I thought like it really is going to make a difference. The house is going to look much nicer and it's going to attract people. And so I was really nervous because for a whole month I was just spending, not knowing if I would get any return. But it was brilliant. The location was great. I think there were so many things. At the time I was talking to Simon almost every day, asking questions, and he'd be like, don't worry about this. That's absolutely unnecessary for you to go through that effort, or things like, yes, absolutely do not cut corners in those senses. So, there were many things that, were really scary about the deal. But yeah, I got the right support and it was so worth it. It's honestly life changing. It was a very scary deal because so being in a very good location, being a big house, the rent was expensive, but also it required a lot of work. It wasn't looking great. It needed painting throughout. It needed a lot of work. It was about a month working from the moment I woke up until I went to bed. I got involved, my partner, and got involved his family. I got involved somebody, a professional painter. So I had so many hands working on this deal. So the investment just to get the house looking nice was pretty big. And on top of that, furnishing the whole house. And I also had to pay rent, and I also had to pay a deposit. So it was a massive investment up front. But a few months into the deal, where I had it working on Airbnb, Booking.com, those sort of platforms, it was performing really nicely. And then, somebody reached out from the US saying that they were coming for a whole year and they paid 6 months up front. And now they have confirmed that the following 6 months, they indeed want to stay, and they're also going to pay that up front in the coming month. So it's been brilliant. I recovered everything that I invested in that house and got a nice profit out of it. It was just below 100K. One is a 4-bedroom house in Chiswick, and the other one is a 3-bedroom flat in West Kensington. I was very interested in investing in property. I had originally joined a different team, like an academy, which they charged so much, and I never felt comfortable enough to initiate with any project. Like I felt there was so much content, but also it wasn't very specific. So I didn't really feel comfortable to do anything. So it took me a while. And then I came across Simon Smith, and then it took me less than a month to get started. So that was great. You need to keep in mind that I had never done this before. I also am not familiar with, I wasn't familiar with the market in the UK at all. I come from a different continent. So everything about this business model was completely new to me. I am very interested in the topic, so I spent many hours learning, going through all the content that Simon has that I think explains everything in so much detail, which is exactly what I wanted, because I felt like they took me by the hand, step by step. Do this. Have you done it? Right. Okay. Now you move to the next step. Now you move to the next step. And that was so different from the previous course that I told you that I had joined, where they just said go find a property and you're all sorted, and it'll work. And I just felt like there were so many steps in between that I didn't feel comfortable. I really need to know the step by step before feeling comfortable to do something, because it's a big investment. I used all of my savings to do this, and it's paid off. So I would say first all of the I think I was scared about all of the legal parts, like doing something that was forbidden, or how do I initiate a company? How do I do that and do it in a way that is not then going to have any, I don't know how to say, like hit me back because of I've done something wrong. How do I create a contract that is going to protect me and it's also going to be fair for the landlord? I had no idea about that. How do I manage my my bank details and my how do I create an invoice? How do I protect the deposit from the guests? How do I protect myself from bad guests? What sort of things? When I received the keys for the first house, there I was sitting in a completely empty house that needed work in every single room, and I had no clue where to begin with. I had never refurbished a house, even cosmetically, like that was completely new to me. So all of those details from beginning to end, like Simon was involved in every step. So if you ask me, like, how did they help in every single way? There's many things I think, because when I first started, I thought I don't want to do an essay. That's going to take so much of my time. I don't have the time to spend on managing a property or doing all of this stuff. Literally, I spend maybe 3 hours of my week working on this, and it has replaced my income. Like, I feel like I own my time, so it's so worth it. I can't recommend it enough. Like, it has changed my life. And there's people in the network that have done really well because they've put the effort, and the information is there. Everything that anyone could need is there. So I did it. I did it in less than 30 days. I'm sure anyone can do it as well, but they have to put the effort in. And so I see people in our network that have succeeded just as well. Like, they've done really well. So I would say, like, if anybody truly wants to forget about their 9 to 5 and dedicate themselves to doing this and working 3 hours a week, put the effort. It's so worth it. That's what I would absolutely recommend.